Hello everyone, and welcome to Dandelion Lessons. And I just got home from a lovely birthday lunch with my stepdaughter and had a nice lesson this morning with a student. And now I'm switching gears, and I'm going to talk a little bit about this soul card that I drew this morning. And I wanted to share this beautiful citrine with you. So I've been doing a lot of work on my solar plexus. Can you see this? It's just beautiful. It has tiny rainbows inside of it, which you probably can't see. It's just exquisite. But I hold this stone a lot, and I'm really enjoying it, and so I'm kind of keeping it whenever I'm painting, really close by, and sometimes I just hold it in my hand. So citrine is very healing to the solar plexus, and that is an area of my energy meridians that I really need to work on. So I've been doing a lot of work on that. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably noticed that I paint in yellow a lot lately. Yellow is the color of the solar plexus. So anyways, not to get too much into that, but this, let me just make sure you can see this. Yeah. So this is the soul card that I drew today, and what it made me think of was, of course, they make you think of things that are happening in your own life, right? But usually they have a broader meaning too. But this immediately made me think of this kind of amazing way I've been carried into my current life, and have had the support of so many, and have had so many wonderful opportunities that have brought me to this place, and I am so grateful every single day for those opportunities. And part of that has brought me here to Patreon, and you, the reason you're here is because you're supporting me, and that's an amazing thing to me, and I'm so grateful, and I'm so glad you're here. But the whole reason I want to do it, as I talked about last time, is because I have this deep desire to share my creative practice and the things that I think about, because I believe that we all deserve that in our life, and that we all should have the opportunity to have a creative practice. And my whole mission is to inspire others to do it, and to share everything I know to make it more fascinating for you and more interesting and easier, and just so that you do it, And I'm so excited every time I see you all post your work and talk about it, and it just makes me deeply happy. So this card made me think of the horse was kind of like how I've been carried along and have had so much support and opportunity, but that it's time now to start using my own wings and to go off and to really follow my heart and my own vision. And that's what I'm doing right now. I have all of these other things like Craftsy and my book coming out, and teaching for different organizations and things like that, and all of those things have been so helpful and have gotten me out of a terrible financial situation where I'd never earned enough money to pay my bills half the time, and so I'm really grateful for that. But on the other hand, it's also not reliable. When you rely on another entity to provide your income, it can be a scary thing. And part of that with Craftsy, my income has gone down to a third of what it was even 6 months ago. And it will get better over time, but it's a very scary thing. And it was a huge income loss for me. And the reason why is because they're doing a new subscription model, and it's a wonderful thing, and I'm so proud to be a part of it. But change takes time. Change, change is difficult. All right, and so they're having growing pains, and eventually it's going to be really good. But in the meantime, it's been scary, and so I have been trying to find other ways to be in control of my own business and my own financial life, and to feel solid about that, in that what I put into it, I get out of it. It's that kind of thing that, if I work hard, I see rewards. If my heart is good and really into it, I see rewards. And it will allow me to further my vision and my mission. And it's not necessarily true when you rely on someone else. You can work really, really hard, and someone can decide, no, we're going to do it this way instead. And so I'm feeling good about taking these steps, doing my Patreon, and starting a new book, and all of the things that I can do, that I'm in control, having more workshops on my own, that I plan myself, classes that I plan myself. And so that feels really good. And that's what it reminded me of. And so I'm wondering, in your life, I'm wondering how you felt supported and carried along. And maybe sometimes you haven't felt supported and carried along, and what it feels like to you to discover that you have your own wings. You have your own wings to lift yourself up and to follow your own path. And it's a scary thing. I mean, there's no way around that, really. It can be a really scary thing. It can feel really risky. But at the same time, it feels vital. It feels like a vital thing to do. So I would love to hear your thoughts on that and how you think about it. Of course, I know that I'm taking risks, and I also know that I'm a hard worker, and that if I need to, I can go out and get a job tomorrow. It might not be the greatest job in the world, but I know I can do that. And so I've planned, I've saved, I've made these, I've made it possible for myself to take these risks. So anyways, that's what it made me think of today. And so in that spirit, I wanted to introduce you all to something that I learned a long time ago now, it seems like, and it's called Zentangle. And I'm sure that you've all heard of it. Maybe some of you have tried it, but this is my original box that I bought years and years ago. It's falling apart, and I've kept it forever, and I really love it. And I don't really do Zentangle anymore, but I did learn a lot from it. I was doing Zentangle before I became a mark maker, before I started doing art. And so over time, I used up all the tiles in here, and I just keep refilling them. And these tiles are available at zentangle.com. And they're the ones that say an original Zentangle. There are many, many reproductions out in the world. And I'm just telling you, I've tried them all to save a little money, and they're not the same. This paper is exquisite paper, and it's so beautiful the way it's die cut, and it's this perfect little contained painting size, So if you want to get this paper, I would get it from zentangle.com. It comes with a lot of tiles, and so when I order them, they last me a long, long time, and I share them with students and stuff, so they last me, over a couple of years sometimes. But anyways, that's my original box, and I keep them in there still. If you have never tried Zentangle, I highly recommend it. It's really fun, and I did learn a lot from it, and I have students that have learned a lot from it too. It teaches you a lot about pattern and structure, and so it's really worth trying. That's not what we're doing here today, but I do want to show you some of these. So these tiles, and I've also started an Etsy shop. I should mention that, and I'm just going to be selling tiny little pieces of work at a very reasonable price, because I believe, as you know, that art is for everyone. And a lot of my work that's in the gallery, some of them are over $1,000, and I can't afford that. So I know that not everybody can afford that, and so I want to make art, original art, more affordable for people. And even $20-$25 has been a lot for me at times. And so I don't say that lightly, that I'm making it more affordable, but I'm doing smaller things so that more people have the opportunity to have an original piece of art. And the beauty of it is also that I know for myself, when I've loved an artist or their work and I've purchased a little piece or even a print, when I receive it, it's a source of inspiration for me too. So I can really study it and see, and I learn a lot that way, just by studying how people do things. And so I hope it's like that too, is that people who are drawing and really want to create, if they do purchase something like this, that they're also using it as an inspiration point. So anyways, these are some of them that I've done on Zentangle tiles. And what I start with usually is just a background wash with watercolor, especially the handmade watercolors, and then I draw on them with graphite. And they're all different. This is just a heart-shaped rock. And I think I might put a watercolor wash on this one. But these are exquisite little drawings, but they're tiny, you know, and so they can be more affordable. This one is a ginkgo leaf with some Celtic knotwork. This one is a little daisy. I mean, they're just sweet little things. Another ginkgo leaf. I love ginkgo leaves. This is a little owl, snowy owl. I'm sorry, it's not, it's a barn owl. It's a pretty little painting. So sweet. And it's got the Celtic knotwork on the outside. And this is just a leaf. So these are the kinds of things you can do with these tiles. And I thought today I would show you just a little landscape. Just do a little landscape, at least the first layer of it. When I do the tiny landscapes, I usually do one layer and let it dry, and then I come back and I put some detail in. So it's kind of 2 sessions of work. But I thought I would use the Zentangle tile and my Earth Mineral Arts paints, which are so, so beautiful. I'm going to just give them a spritz of water to sort of wake them up, because I haven't used them since yesterday. My table wet now. And I'm just going to paint. And I will say this, I start these by drawing a square and side, so it gives me some boundaries. And so how I do that is and I learned this from Zentangle. Isn't that cool? I put a little dot in each corner because I don't want a stiff looking square. I want it to be fluid, right? So I draw a dot in each corner, and then I just connect the dots in a really fluid stroke. So I go from one dot to the next, and some of them might be curved, some of them might be straight. They're all going to be a little different, but it ends up being a square that's not stiff and tight. Okay? So I'm going to turn the video off and start again and just put some music on and just do a painting. Okay, so this first layer is now done, and I think what you've noticed, I hope, is how beautifully this paper takes watercolor. So how convenient to have these tiny little tiles all ready to go for your little landscapes and for graphite drawings. It takes pencil beautifully, it takes pen and ink beautifully. It's just gorgeous paper. So this is the first pass, and on my first pass I keep things very fluid and very dreamy, and I just let all the colors sort of mix and mingle together and spread a little bit. It's great fun. I really want these, feathery effects to happen in between colors, right? And then once this is dry, that's when I come back and I spend more time and I put in the fine details and I really look at it and I try to give it depth and dimension, and brighten up the color a little bit, add more highlights where the clouds are, things like that. But this is my first pass, and I'll let this dry, and then later this afternoon I'll come back and work on it again. So this is going to be one of the things that's in the monthly giveaway this month, at the end of the month. And so when I finish this, it will be part of that monthly giveaway, that I will randomly select one of you to receive it, and I'll have one of those every month, the last week of that month. Okay, so the end of August I'll be doing that random drawing. And so again, these papers shake things up a little bit for us. To paint in a square format is sometimes intriguing. It's not our traditional way of breaking up a picture to paint square, and it's just a different different format. But this paper is so beautiful that no matter what medium you use on it, whether it's watercolor or ink or graphite, you're gonna love it. It's just absolutely gorgeous paper. So if you want to try that, and I'm also going to include some of these in the monthly giveaway. There'll be 5 in the monthly giveaway, 5 cards, along with this painting. So if you want to try it, try Zentangle.com. Again, I highly recommend it. And if you've never actually tried Zentangle itself, it's great fun, and you should try that too. But again, think about the support and your times in your life where you've felt carried, and you felt carried, and you felt like you probably couldn't have made it without the support of so many, and then all of a sudden when one day you realize that you had to sort of break out of that and fly off on your own a little bit. It's a scary thing, but I'm really excited about it. And I could fail miserably, but you know what? I have to try. Because my whole heart knows it's the right thing for me, that this is what I want to do. And I'm very grateful for you. Thank you so much for being here. And this is our dandelion lesson for this week. Tomorrow, I'm coming back with another graphite techniques video. And then next week, we'll get back to our carrot project, and we'll have another dandelion lesson and then a watercolor technique video. So there's also a tools and material video coming up as well. But anyhow, I will see you tomorrow for graphite techniques, and it's a really, really important one. It's probably one of the things after having a light touch that made the most significant difference in my drawings. And I love to share it with people because a lot of times it's an aha moment for people. It's like a light bulb moment, and they realize, oh my gosh, I could have been doing this all along. It makes a big difference. So I'm excited for that. Try a little square painting. Try a little tiny landscape square painting if you want, and send it to somebody in the mail. This will be sent to one of you. All right. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you tomorrow. Take care.